Well, thank you for a wonderful introduction. I was promised two prompters, one in Polish and one for you to understand what I'm talking about. Joe didn't deliver, so please don't blame me. When Joe called me to tell me that I had been selected for this honor, CBU Athletic Hall of Fame, I was both excited and humbled. We always hear and talk about the American dream. But I stand before you as a living example of just that, the American dream come true. I arrived to Chicago in 1980. I remember exactly March 6, 1980. As a great husband, I left my wife with two kids, 6 years old and 4 months old. So that was kind of nice of me. And I was supposed to come back in 6 months with a little bit extra dollars and settle for the rest of the life. That time, as you remember, Poland was under communist system and the value of the dollar was so big that coming to countries like United States of America or Australia working for 6 months was pretty much enough to set us up for the rest of our life. So that was the goal. But as you know, life always writes a different story than you think and you want to do it. So in Chicago, it was 1980. There was no job that the club who brought me in, which was Polish-American club named Lightning. They couldn't find any job for me. So I was heading around, making a little bit back there and sending money to Poland. So my wife and my boys could have decent life. You might remember that 1980 and 81, there was turmoil in Poland. That was when Solidarity and Lech Walesa started to fight for freedom. Well, I left before this thing started in summer 1980. As I said, I left in March. So I spent about 6-7 months in Chicago. Like I said, trying to find out what am I doing over here. I was 34 years old. I was a decent player. As was mentioned, I played about 15 years professionally in Poland. But this is America. My engineering diploma wasn't worth much. My 34 years old didn't qualify me for big recruitment, even I tried for professional team. You need to have a lot in life. I believe in luck, but you have to work for your luck. You cannot just say, well, if I get lucky, I take advantage of it. No. I'm one of those who believes that you have to work for your luck. So I worked wherever I could. I tried when things, and the goal was, by Christmas, I go back home. But again, as I said, life usually has a different story for you. I was asked in Chicago for a team from Croatia to be your guest player. I said, you're a pretty good goalkeeper, you play so many years, why don't you go with us as a Croat, not Polish, because that's championship games for all teams from around the United States. They play for championship, but like I said, only people who were born in Croatia or could be guest player for Croatia. I went to Cleveland with this team, and my team made all the way to the final. In the final, we played against another team who had a player named Eusebio. Soccer people will know who was he. He scored the winning goal on us. We lost, they won. Just fast forward. What happened? I came back to Chicago, and about a week after that, I got a call from Hartford, Connecticut, from a guy named John Kowalski. Sounds Polish. Well, he could speak Polish. He said, do you want to come and try for a professional team? I said, of course, now? He said, no, it's midnight, we'll have airline ticket for you at the airport. Go in the morning, ask for the ticket, you come for tryouts. So again, fast forward, I'm in Hartford. The owner is sitting somewhere far, but they said, that's the owner looking you through the window. I said, okay, I'm ready, I dress up. let's go for the trials, for practice. And he said, no, we're not going anywhere, we're here. That was indoor building. He said, you said soccer. He said, yeah, you see this little ring? He said, yeah, that's hockey. No, we call this indoor soccer. He said, well, you're joking. I mean, I'm dressing, I want to go back. I said, I don't play, this is circus, that's not soccer. And he said, well, we'll pay you $12,000 for 3 months. I said, well, where do I go? Which hall should I take? So I went to the hall, they started shooting on me, and I guess I was pretty good, because 15 minutes they started practice on their way. I went upstairs, they said they wanted to sign me up. So I didn't get my $12,000 because I didn't know about taxes, so I got a little bit less. But still, it was pretty good. Because our goal, me and my wife was to make maybe 7,000 to 10,000, come back and live like a king in Poland. So I was almost there. There was a couple of issues. I would have to have all night to tell you full story. But when they sent me back to Chicago, I took what I had, which was, portable radio and a small suitcase and ready to go. I arrived to Hartford and they realized that my visa expires like most people like me coming to this country, and for some reason they don't like to leave. So they said, oh my God, I mean, there will be trouble in 2 days, what do we do? Again, fast forward, they put me on the plane, flew me to Montreal, to US Embassy, they gave me a visa, H2 working visa, flew me back. I'm at the airport, happy, I'm legal now. But what happened? My passport is only good for next 2 months. The rule is you cannot enter this country if the passport is less than 6 months. So anyway, somehow they worked this deal, I start playing, everything is okay. I become to be MVP of the league. Of course, they said you cannot go back to Poland, you're terrified, but you're the best. Goalkeepers, the older, the better they are. So I called my wife, she said, no, it's 7, 8 months, that was the deal, you got the money, you're coming back, it's tough time in Poland, you don't know what's going to happen next. I said, listen, but 3 times what they offered me at the beginning, and that's a lot of money, we will be, king of kings. He said, listen, if I can come for a few weeks, that's the deal. Well, again, it didn't work that way, because my team from Hartford was sold to Memphis. That's how I became to be Memphis Americans member. I didn't want to go to Memphis. Once I looked on the map and I said, oh my God, Memphis, that's the other end of the world. No, I'm not going. It took that 8 months again, go fast forward. They got me to Memphis in September, and I said, my wife is trying to get a passport and come to see me. I didn't see her for 20 months, and my boss, it's impossible, we cannot do any longer. He said, give us a week. So I called my wife, I said, I have passport, cost her a case of whiskey. That's how you got things done in Poland this time. And she said, I have the passport. She went to US Embassy, and guess what? Another obstacle. US Embassy said, your husband said he will be there only 4 months. He's already 20 months. And if you lie to us, you never will see America. So they didn't treat her nice. They basically asked her to leave and never come back. She called me all in tears. I said, okay, we're done. I ordered a ticket for Saturday. That was Monday. I'm flying back. Money not important in this case. That is most important. Then the club said, give us 4 days. I said, 4 days? I have a ticket for Saturday. Give us a couple of days. So again, fast forward. They contact Howard Baker, the senator from Tennessee, and he was President Reagan's chief of staff at that time. So they worked through him. They called me next day and said, your wife should go again to US Embassy. My wife said, no, you don't know how they treat me. I'm not going there. I said, well, we have two options. Either I'm coming back or you're coming here. Let's try this one. Get a nice contract, 1 more year. A little bit like a man, we always know the best, right? But my wife said, okay, I go, but if they look at me the wrong way, I'm leaving and you're coming back. I said, yes, I have already a ticket. So she went over there and guess what? There was coffee, there was cake, she said, oh my God, those people just kicked me out of the building. And so a little bit knowing, right, people looks like us. Again, fast forward, my wife arrives 1 week before my first game. Everything looks good. We are happy. About 100 people welcome her at the airport. She was stunned. You know, wow, you must be somebody. I said, no, I'm just a soccer player in America. It's just a love family story. So the booster club came and all the families. Now, a month after her arrival, exactly on December 13, 1981, martial law was announced in Poland. That means she couldn't go there and nobody could get up. She starts panicking. 2 boys, one 6, one 7 and 1 year old when she left. What do we do? Again, we were hoping for a miracle to happen. Same office, Senator Baker started working. Through all those tough months, they kept us informed. They were sending the U.S. Embassy employee to my city, which was about 200 miles from where the embassy was, to check how the boys doing, and they report to us on a weekly basis. I have the letters still, and the info. It's just a wonderful story. Now that how do we get the boys over here? The Polish government is not interested in anything. I mean, you left, you promised to come back, you didn't. But maybe, fortunately, what was going on with solidarity, things start changing, all this stuff that we don't have time to go into it. They finally said, okay, you pay for your education, you pay for your wife education, you leave your apartment for us, and your kids can go. So basically, Memphis was raising money, and they were trying to buy our kids from government. Well, it doesn't work like this. I said, please don't do it. So once you talk to them like this, that's a bribe, and the kids never will leave the country. So in September 1982, the boys arrived. There's about 400 people at the airport, all my teams, booster class, fantastic story. We still have video watching this, I got the tears. And a little bit too long, but I'm almost done. It's 1982, I continued to play till 1984. I love Memphis. Memphis likes me as well, I guess. 1984, the team was sold to Las Vegas. I am 39 years old. It's not a good time to go to Las Vegas and start a new career. People around were saying, stay here, we'll help your family. But my wife was asking, what are we going to do? I mean, we don't speak well English. We still probably don't, but even then, it was worse. We have 2 little kids, no income, you stop playing. How do you see life? I couldn't tell her how, but I knew something will come up. It's just, you keep working, you keep believing, and things will happen to you. Well, 1985, that was in February, about this time, I got a call from a lady named Faye Pickard. She said, oh, by the way, you have an appointment with Coach Stevenson at CDC. I said, what is this? I know it's college, but for what? Oh, you will be their coach. He said, really? Did you ask me for it? I'm not interested. I don't know nothing about college, how to coach, He said, no, you will be great for me. So I promised that I will go for the interview. I met with Coach Stevenson, we had a nice talk. He asked me, why do I want to coach? I said, I don't. I was kind of trying to come and yeah, I think I can do it, but no, I'm not really applying for the job. Coach said, well, after chatting about 1 hour, Coach said, I have about 20 people to interview, and in 2 weeks I should know something. Somehow I had a feeling that I was the right guy. I don't know how, don't ask me. I'm not trying to brag too much, but I had the feeling, which feeling usually doesn't mislead me. 2 weeks later, Coach calls and says, well, could you come to my office? We have to talk more. I arrived at his office. He said, you have the job, start working. I said, really? What do I have? Players, field? He said, let's go. So we walked through, at that time, a little hall, and he said, that's your soccer field. I said, there's no grass, there is nothing. He said, oh, we get you grass. You have to just put this on. With your players and with brothers will help, and that's what exactly how the CBC program started. The first year we played at Willow Park. We didn't have home field. My first couple tryouts were at CPHS. I came home and I said to my wife, there is no way. There is no way. Those kids have never been trained at age 10, 12. That's when you learn basic skill. Their soccer, like my English, broke all through their life. There's no way you can teach somebody age 35 proper English and then teach players age 20 to play soccer, baseball, or any other sport. But of course, I couldn't give up. The practices that I scheduled for 2 weeks before school started in 1985, the practices, at least I said I fit those boys. Maybe we cannot play, but we will run like anybody. So we practiced 5 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock afternoon. The school started, I continued my practice, 5 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock afternoon. Well, Coach Stevenson, of course, calls me one afternoon and said, Coach, listen, the professors complain. Coach was always very nice, very polite, and he was basically my mentor. He taught me how to live business life, how to deal with, everything was new to me. In Poland, as you know, I was just playing, I was a star, and I was probably living in the clouds. So Coach said, you cannot practice. And I said, yes, I can, Coach. No, not that way. You shouldn't. They go into class, they tired, they sweating, the professor complained. Okay, all right, well, we'll do something. So we continue once a day during the school, but every day. Fortunately, there was no crazy rules. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. Because we were at AIA, so we basically could practice as much as we wanted, as hard as we wanted, and that's what I wanted. First year was tough, as you can imagine. Our record was like 2-8, so fortunately won a couple of games. I don't know how, but we did. Players were outstanding. They probably couldn't understand 50% what I was saying. I asked them to help me with my English, but they were too polite. You know what they were doing? On the soccer balls, they were writing the sentence that I was saying. For example, one of the favorite things was, why were you doing this? And one day I'm picking the ball and I say, why for? That doesn't sound right. And that was their way to make corrections. They never came to me and say, oh, Coach, you should do this or that. As you know, CDC and CDU, it's probably still saying, raising money for the program was the main thing. You don't get a lot of money. We had $7,000 for the whole program, that's including travel, scholarships. You name it, everything had to be in this. So we raised a lot of money. We had the field ready, we drug hoses, because Coach Schickel was my assistant for most of those years. Sometimes 4 o'clock he was coming to move houses around, sometimes his sons, David and God, who played for me, they moved their houses. After a few years, we were lucky, one of our graduate or alumni from CDU donated money. I don't know how much he donated, but Coach Stevenson calls me to his office and said, well, Coach, how's it going? How's the field? The field looks beautiful. Those houses are hard to drag. Yes, they are, Coach. You're not going to be watering field all night long. Well, we have some money from Andrew Booney, if I remember the correct name. He sent some amount Coach said, and you can put sprinklers. But it was not enough to hire somebody, so Coach Schinkel and me did ourselves. We learned how to do it. We're digging those trenches, working on them. Brothers came, they look over. Do we really need those sprinklers? Yes, we do. What if somebody gets hurt? What if somebody steps on it? And we in the trench look up, we look with Coach Schinkel on each other and said, really? Are we doing something wrong? But then, about a year after, same thing was with the scoreboard. I got scoreboard from Coca-Cola. We don't need this, that looks ugly. But then one day I'm around the field and I see brothers coming with some visitors, I guess, and they proudly showing, that's our scoreboard. Not many scoreboards like this, that's our sprinkler system. I'm missing something. But, you know, that's how it goes. Always at CDU, you have to be, as a coach, I had to be the mother, father, team manager, travel agent. It was tough, but but I wouldn't exchange for anything. They were the best days of my coaching life. I still remember them. There was sometimes problem that Coach Stevenson had to cover for me, and he did this fantastic way. He called me one time to office, said, "Coach, we have a mother that demands that you will be fired." He said, "Oh my God, what did I do?" He said, "Did you leave players somewhere?" I said, "If he didn't show up on time, then it's possible." He said, "Coach, it's possible, or you left him." I said, "Yes, not when you said." But then left because he was not on time. But you know, there was a couple hundred miles from Memphis. I said, "Well, did the buses still work?" He said, "Coach, you cannot do that." I said, "Coach, he's 20 years old. They say he can be on time. If I cannot teach him to be on time, how can I teach him to play soccer?" Well, you know what? All the players were 50 minutes away from him. Never had trouble. I could go, I probably could have a couple of nights and then talk about the story, but it's time to finish and let others say a few words. I just want to thank you, a few people, make sure I don't skip all importance. And obviously, I already mentioned Coach Stevenson. Thank you very much for putting up with my extravaganza, I guess, and being really my mentor and leader for those 12 years. You were fantastic. Thank you. Judge Schenkel for being not only a great assistant, but a great friend till today. Thank you very much. All my players, they are the reason this program exists, and many of them today. Thank you very much for making me what I am. And last but not least, I would like to thank my family, of course. Maciej, my son, graduated of CBHS and CBU, major in psychology, and I believe first student graduating minor art. The department was created at that time for him, so he could graduate in minor art. My gypsy son, Marek, I call him Gypsy because he was 2.5 years old when he came to this country, never seen his father, and I picked him up at the airport. He kind of laid back, didn't say who you are because he barely talked, but I understood what he wants to do. I said, "I'm your father." He said, "Oh, really? Then I love you." So simple as that. He graduated from Germantown High School, and the gypsy part comes follow that. He graduated Germantown High School, went on the west coast to little snob, to Malibu and Pepperdine University. Then from Pepperdine he went to the Northeast to graduate from Roger Williams Law School and ended up working right now in Vegas. So like I said, gypsy boy. And my wife, Yola. What can I say? They say there is a woman behind every successful man. I say she's next to me. I believe they are angels on this earth. Actually, I know. I married her. On May 12th this year will be our 4th anniversary, so that's why I believe she's an angel. Again, thank you again for this tremendous honor, and thank you for coming this evening. Thank you very much.